everyone, it's Jones and JT from Pool Warehouse, and today we're going to teach you how to measure for a replacement swimming pool liner. That's probably one of the most common questions we get asked is how do I measure my pool for a replacement liner? So today we're going to teach you not only how to measure your pool, but also how to install that replacement liner once it arrives.
Yeah, so stick with us because we're going to teach you how to measure your radiuses and how to properly measure your swimming pool so that you get that replacement liner fit like a glove.
All right, so some of the things you're going to need to measure your pool liner are a couple tapes. So this one is just a simple 25-foot tape, and then we also have a 100-foot. You could probably get by with just a 50-foot, but 100 makes it nice in case you have to go long distances. So a couple different tapes. You're also going to need a liner measurement form. Now JT has one here, I think.
This is going to help me keep track of all the measurements when I turn in this form for a brand new swimming pool liner from Pool Warehouse. So on here, it has your A measurement, which is your width, and your B measurement, which is your length. And we're doing a simple rectangle today. So I'm going to track all of my information manually on this form here.
Now, if you don't have a physical measurement form, you can always go to poolwarehouse.com with your smartphone. We've got a great tool that allows you to simply keep track of all those different measurements, and it'll add them all up for you. At the end, you can also input your information, your email address, etc., and send yourself a copy of those measurements. So try that out at poolwarehouse.com. All right, so now we're going to get the length of this pool. You'll probably want to use your long tape measure, and we're actually going to get two different spots. We're going to go on both sides of the step and measure the whole length of the pool just to make sure. JT, what are we looking like?
All right. We are right at 32 feet, and it's very important that you measure to the panel and make sure that you pull that tape super tight. All right. 32 feet.
Perfect.
Looking good. Now when we measure the width, we're going to take a measurement in 3 different spots just to make sure it's accurate all the way throughout. Now Jones is going to pass me the tape and I'm going to walk around, and it's very important to note that you don't measure from coping edge to coping edge. You want to make sure that you're measuring from wall to wall. So I've pulled my tape all the way to the panel wall. Jones, what's our measurement over there?
We're looking at about 16 feet.
16 feet. We're going to take another measurement in the middle. Now our second measurement here, Jones, what do we have?
We're still at 16 feet.
16 feet, looking good. Now our last measurement, I'm hoping we're at 16 feet. Jones, what do we got?
It looks like the pool builder did a good job. This measurement is 16 feet as well.
Perfect.
All right, as soon as you get your length and width, make sure you go ahead and note those. I'm going to note those digitally at Pool Warehouse. So I've got 16 feet. That's measurement A. You can see A there for the width. And it's 32 feet long, so I'm going to go ahead and put in 32 feet as well. And then we've got our corners already in there, and we'll just continue to the next step.
So Jones and I were talking about getting the radius of our hopper, and typically when there's water in the swimming pool, you can tell. It's very easy to figure out. But since this homeowner's already removed the water from this pool, we're going to have to expose the bottom of the swimming pool, so we're going to have to remove this liner so that we can get an accurate reading to find out what our radius is in the hopper. If you have a big sweeping radius hopper, you definitely want to make sure and get an accurate measurement, but we're just kind of eyeballing this, and I'm going to check, and it looks like we're about a 3-inch radius corner on this hopper. One thing that you do want to note is that this is not a 90-degree angle, so you want to make sure that you don't tell them this is a squared off 90-degree hopper. Otherwise, when that liner comes in and it goes down in here, it's going to pucker.
So now we're going to go ahead and measure the corner radius for this swimming pool. Now there's usually only 3 different types of corner radiuses on a rectangle pool. You've got a 6-inch, a 2-foot, and a 4-foot. Visually, this looks like a 2-foot, but we're going to measure that just to make sure. So the first thing you want to do is try to find the panel joint. Don't measure from the coping clip. Make sure you find the panel joint, and you may need to pull your liner back to do that, but you're going to measure from the panel joint. And what you're going to do is try to cross that with your second tape, and JT is going to pull that for us.
So I'm gonna find my panel joint over here, which we've already done. We've pulled the liner back so that you can see exactly where that's located. So I'm gonna start my measurement at the panel joint and intersect the other tape to show that we have a 2-foot radius corner.
Right, and another great thing to do is you can always check straight from the center of that radius to make sure that you're 12 inches back. So if we were to grab this tape and pull it back to the corner,
exactly 12 inches.
We're exactly 12 inches. So we'll definitely know that this is a 2-foot radius corner. So what you want to do once you get that measurement is go ahead and note it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and measure the shallow end depth of the pool. We're going to get that in 2 different sides. So we're going to do the left side and the right side just to make sure that both dimensions equal out the same. So you probably want to make a nice cut in your liner. That way you can hit the floor of the pool with your tape measure. So we're going to just drop that right in. Okay, looks like we're at 40 inches. And we're going to toss this over to JT, and he's going to measure the other side just to make sure that we have the same dimension.
All right, I'm going to take this quick measurement on this side. And remember that when you're measuring this, you're measuring to the coping track, the actual liner receiver. So I'm going to make a little incision here. And then that way, when I slide my tape down, I can hit the floor and make sure I get a good reading. All right, looks like I am right at 40 inches.
So what we've done is stretched our long tape super tight across the width of the pool, and JT is going to drop his tape measure to try to get the depth of this pool.
Yeah, so what you want to do is you're going to take your tape measure, just stretch it out, and then you're going to let it just fall and break over your tape. Pull it back until you hit that pool floor bottom, and then I can read my measurement. I'm right at 70 inches. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull this tape up. I know I'm at 70 inches, and it's very important that you subtract the height of your coping. So the height of my coping here is right at 2.5. So we're going to be about 67.5 inches deep on this swimming pool.
Filling out your liner measurement form, we know that our shallow end wall height is D. So we know what that dimension is, and we know what F is. F is the total depth of the pool. So if you subtract F and D, you should have E. So now you have the E measurement. Just make sure that you do note that on your liner measurement form, whether you're using the online version or you're using a physical copy. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and get the length of the shallow end, the slope, and the hopper. So I believe this measurement is called M. We've gone ahead and stretched out a tape, the length of the pool, so that's 32 feet long, and we're going to use that to just note different locations as we go through here. Your maintenance pole is a great tool for trying to determine where your slope starts and where it ends. So what you want to do is just stretch that pole out, and you can feel as soon as it starts to break down and slope, right there is the end of our shallow end. Now that's right at 8 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and note 8 feet. JT is going to mark that here, and I'm going to go down and see how long our slope is. Right there is where our slope ends, and we hit flat ground. That flat ground is the start of the hopper. So I'm going to drop this pole right here, and JT is going to give us the length of our slope.
All right, looks like we are right at about 14 feet. So we've got a slope of 14 feet.
Great, so we've got 8 foot shallow end, 14 foot slope. Now let's get the hopper. Right there is where the pool wall starts to go back up to the end of the pool. And we're gonna drop the pole right here.
All right, looks like we are right at 8 feet. So we've got a nice 8 foot hopper.
Great. Now we know what our back slope is. that will be the remaining balance of the 32 feet. All right, we're gonna go ahead and write down those dimensions now that we have them. The first is the shallow end, that's M. So we know that M is 8 feet. We've got L, that's the length of our slope. That's 14 feet. We've got K, K is our bottom hopper. That's also 8 feet. And that leaves J. And we know this is a 32-foot long pool, so J is obviously 2 feet. All right, guys, we're almost done. We're gonna go ahead and get the hopper sidewall slopes. And it looks like we're gonna be able to find those. Just run that pole straight down that sidewall until you hit the bottom. Once you hit the bottom, you'll know that you're ready to lay that pole back against the wall. And we've already pulled the tape right alongside the wall here for a reference point. And JT is gonna tell us what that dimension is.
All right. So, looks like we're right at 24 inches. So we've got a 2-foot sidewall slope.
And that's H and I. You'll want to make sure you get both sides of the pool just to make sure that the pool was built to spec. We just finished H and I. Now H and I, if you're looking down here, are right here. And that's the 3 dimensions we have left are H, I, and G. So H was 2 feet and I was 2 feet. Now we know this pool is a 16 by 32 pool, so that means G, our final measurement, is 12 feet. Now we're going to go ahead and submit online to Pool Warehouse and get that replacement liner on order. And we're going to toss this over to JT and he's going to measure the other side just to make sure that we have the same dimension.
Did you get that?
Oh, I got that.